Yoga for Healing. I'm back. I want to ask a specific question about the chosen, the ones that's on purpose, the ones that accepted the call, the ones that have been doing the healing work, investing in themselves, not in others' business. Those that have been triumphing over those of the evil side, that want the easy way, what they call the easy way, but they finding it's not easy. A message for us is what I'm asking, but we'll see. Daydream. Right off the bat, her laying on the couch, smelling the roses, and there may not even be roses or tulips there. She may be imagining them and actually smelling them, using her imagination. That is a part of your healing with your inner child, letting that grow. It opens up that first eye. You have to be creative, imaginative, and open yourself up to the Most High, your higher self. I can't get you off my mind all day, every day. I always wonder what you are doing and how you are feeling about me. Meet me in your dreams tonight so we can start making our future together in reality. I want to build a strong, solid foundation for us. I'm going to take this in a positive light, and not those creepers that have entered into the astral realm to try to sleep with us, feed us, go out on dates with us, so that they could create that in the 3D, because they did try that. I'm going to take this as your new contract, your new beginning. Daydreaming, thinking about them, not knowing who they are, but just daydreaming, using your imagination, bringing it into reality by staying on your path, staying focused, and meditation. What do we need to know? What will you tell us that we need? Signs. This is signs, and it fell in reverse. And we have hopeful. Oh. And you're not afraid. But these signs that fell in reverse. Well, we do know that one side is not seeing the signs. But there may be a sign that you may be missing. It says, I have been seeing so many signs and synchronicities that remind me of you. Oh, they're not seeing the signs. Not the correct ones. It's made me feel certain that you are the one for me and we have a brighter future. No, they don't believe that. They're not seeing the signs correctly. I just have to figure out how to follow them. They're not following any signs. I am gaining strength and courage for that. And it was in reverse. So here we go. With this person that's not seeing the signs, not on a journey, just rambling in the desert without any water. The water they do get is what I've heard so many times. Boiled hot dog water that's been sitting on the stove overnight. I added the overnight on the stove part. But yeah, that's the only water they can get. But they're hopeful to get back under that umbrella. Every time I see this, this is what I think of. They want to be under your protection. And they want to be in control of it. I hope we can put the past and the bad times behind us and start again. I can see if you had a little spat. You're both growing. You're both healing. But not if you're dealing with a narcissist or an evil warlock. Those are different stories. And I mean also if those warlocks and whatever can be a twin flame or soulmate. It's not for you to give them your protection and put it in their hands. First off, that doesn't even fit with like being an emperor. An emperor is to protect you, not to take your protection away from you. And that's what's going to put a smile on their face, for you to just go along with their movements when they are not seeing things correctly. I know I am asking a lot of you, but I hope you can forgive the error of my ways. I acted so immaturely. This is where your discernment and your intuition comes into play. For myself, there's not an ex that comes to mind that I would take back. They're definitely an ex for a reason. And to my knowledge, none of them have grown. You're not afraid. They are afraid to let you down. They're not afraid to let you down, actually. It says, I am afraid to let you down once you get to know me. But they're not afraid. And you're not afraid of them knowing you. I don't want to disappoint you, so I am avoiding you. Like absence makes the heart grows fonder, they believe. But they're not thinking that this absence, they're not afraid of that absence that you have, that they've held. For whatever reason, it's been by a choice made by them. I have to overcome this, and I myself, as you see me before coming forward, ready. They're not ready. It's in the reverse. They're not seeing the signs. They're delusional. They're wandering. They want your protection, but they're not seeing things correctly. They know you doubt them. They want you to stop doubting the connection. They sense it. Or they might even hear it. You might tell them. They want you to have faith and know that when they reach out to you, it will be divine timing, the right timing. And a lot of people use those type of things as a reverse psychology. Learn it, know it, and don't be afraid to call it out. Don't be afraid. Because this is about your very own protection. They want you to trust the process, and you are. They just don't know what the process is because they're not seeing the signs and synchronicities. Our love is real. They want you to trust, and they're, like I just said, how some use those things as manipulative tactics. Don't be afraid to call that shit out. Because they want to use, oh, you're supposed to be love and light. Oh, you're a healer. Oh, you this, you that. To try to use it against you. To use it as a tool. a weapon, but learn, just as they will, that that sword is two-edged. They want this victory. They want the rewards. They want you to feel like you can trust them, that you are their world. They just may be realizing how true that is. But they're not seeing the signs. They're not following the signs. And that has to be fear for them to keep telling themselves that, oh, divine timing, when they're not taking any actions. That's like writing a manifestation on your pillow, putting it under your pillow every night, but you're not doing anything for it to gain it. You're just hoping it's going to come knock at your door. They see your joy and vitality, your growth and your success, how you're gaining your abundance spiritually. They see you're being shined up on. They can actually see your growth. They may even see each season be a change. How your voice and your energy is brave, secure. You don't care about being seen for exactly who you are. You have nothing to hide. Your uniqueness, your imagination. Those are actually sunflowers, like a wreath of sunflowers on the head. You've been crowned. This person that's not seeing the signs. Somebody that's doing a juggling act or has been doing a juggling act. Jupiter and Capricorn. Somebody that needs balance to manage themselves wisely. But they have to go through this transformation. If they want balance and peace, they want protection and guidance, they need to go through the transformation, the death and the rebirth, the releasing of the old. This person may be nice, wise, but still has some work to do. And they're hopeful. They've been learning, facing life. Some things have brought them to shame, but that's okay as long as you're truthful with yourself. No one else can shame you. And yeah, you have to deal with some guilt, but forgive yourself. Find others that can help. That is the truth. You can make a breakthrough. No fear. This is someone that has been offered. They need the motivation. They're bored. 2 to 3 days is significant. And the number 4. Yellow, solar plexus. Sacral plexus. Just work on the, like as usual, root on up to that solar plexus. Start from the bottom, go up, and keep going. Be in alignment. What do we need to know about this? Wanting to have this renewal of this love. Queen of Wands. What's on the floor? I picked it up in reverse, but I wasn't looking, I just reached down. Number 7. You may be a Queen or King of Wands energy that has a harvest. And you're receiving, there's karmic justice being settled right now. It's a reminder. Heart chakra. Balance is being brought into play. This person that's not seeing the signs, they have to go through this transformation. They're hopeful. They want to recover. But at the same time, they're bored, feeling disconnected. There's no fear, but there's disconnection on how this love is real. Maybe this Queen of Wands is thinking about them being focused on the harvest. But there's justice being served. Balancing. Let's go more and see. What is it? Who is this that's facing this transformation? A High Priestess. And then we have the Queen of Wands. Oh, maybe this was supposed to be in reverse. I picked it up in reverse. Let's see. Because it's kind of looking like maybe this Queen of Wands is the High Priestess that's not seeing the signs, reading things correctly, needing to find balance, and has to go through a transformation, but being hopeful, wanting to try to recover, but they're feeling the shame and guilt. They're not feeling any kind of way about these offers. They're disconnected. Those chakras, that's why that came up. They're so blocked. And that's keep coming out too in the readings. Somebody that's blocked. That wants you to feel that they can love you. You're the one, and they want you to sit and wait. This Queen of Wands. Yeah, that's reverse. That's final. This is somebody that has no harvest coming in. They're getting karma. And they're making a fast move. And this Page of Swords always pops up too. They're at a standstill. They're stuck. Somebody that also portrays an empress. Somebody that was walked away from or needs to walk away. Because they're not seeing things correctly. Because they're not releasing things. And they're not going through the transformations. But they want to have their wishes fulfilled. Yeah, they're being greedy. They're holding on to this. But they're emotionless. This is feeling like a zombie that's pretending to be a star, but it's really the devil. And sometimes she portrays herself to be the Queen of Cups, but also we see the King of Cups that comes out in this same type of energy of being sneaky and deceitful. This is that shape shifter that we need to be aware of. That's been in a progress, slow and steady, but's been making moves for a while. Taurus, Virgo energy. We have the air. We're going to have all the elements. Water, earth, yeah. Everything is out here. and fires right here because they're trying to seek another way to get under your umbrella. King of freaking swords. A huge shapeshifter. King of swords, but this real energy is this page of swords. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Somebody that wants to come in and say you're their world. They want to find some kind of harmony. Let me pull more tarot on this discontentment. Some more energy on this. So this dude is a warlock. This is a dark, I won't even say dark. I'm trying to reteach myself because the word dark does not mean evil. Evil is evil. But we've been taught that the dark is something scary. It's something to be afraid of. But when you can see, you're not afraid of the dark. When you see with your first eye, you can see it doesn't matter what the lighting is. It's the energy. 3 of Cups. This is somebody that has been working with a group. A shapeshifter that's been working with a group for their abundance. Give me a card on this High Priestess energy that needs to go through the transformation. Wow. 3 of Wands sideways. They have no expansion, no growth. No growth in sight. But they want the 9 of Cups. They want their wishes fulfilled. They want happiness. They want unconditional love. They want abundance. They want it all. But they're at a 7 of Wands. Give me another card on this. What about this Ace of Cups? They're hopeful about falling sideways in my lap. 5 of Wands. They're trying to avoid conflict. Queen of Swords energy, and we already saw. Page of Swords is here. This is that shapeshifter energy. Or it may be because I asked about the collective, the ones that are on purpose, and what they're dealing with, especially those with contracts. So that may be another reason, but what I'm picking up here really is that shape-shifting energy. We need to know that it does come in all forms. Male, female. We're all on different lines, paces. So this is like an overall, it doesn't matter about the sign, it's about that energy for real. This one's been hopping all over. What do we need to know about this 9 of Swords reverse? No union, no foundation, no balance, no growth, no balance, no nothing. And they've been cut off. They've been given a lot of chances. That's the truth and clarity. Ace of Swords at the bottom of the deck. As I say that. The breakthrough of the truth is what is occurring in all these situations. But I'm picking up here that dark shape-shifting warlock. Or dark or evil intentioned witch. 7 of Coins. They're not able to plan. They're not able to even think or reflect. They're like a zombie. I've picked that up before too. They're overtaken. They're possessed. King of Swords in reverse. There we have it. Falling up under this Queen of Wands energy. That's what this is. Strong King of Swords, Page of Swords type energy. As far as hostile, rebellious, aggressive, immature energy. That is a liar. A huge liar, because a King of Swords upholds the truth of good reason and authority, that knows how to wield the sword. They're in need of strength. They're in need of balance. This must be what we needed to know. Pinpoint this warlock, evil intended warlock, because all warlocks or witches are not bad. It's the person using it. It's the energy and their intent for it. Using it in a manipulative, controlling way. Using it in a dark or evil way. To manipulate and control. I don't care if it's a love spell. You think you so big and bad on the streets, but then at the same time you want to conjure up a love spell because that's what you got to do to get love? Really? Well, you need to go over the universal laws first. And going into others' Akashic records is a no-no. Unless they enter your space or it's a story you're doing and you don't know who is who. Sometimes that's the case. But you know that this one is a karmic lesson that may have had you as a third party. Give me the energy on this. They're not having a light bulb moment. They're having no realization. They are not inspired, and they're gaining no insight. Maybe they were finding this funny, or maybe you're laughing all the way to more joy and laughter. There's no union here that they were hoping for. Receipts, reverse. They feel they're not guilty of anything, and there's nothing that you could expose or whatever. Something about exposure. Maybe it's things you don't know. And they're like, hey, if you can't prove it, you don't have any receipts, it didn't happen. If you can't prove it, one of those. Oh, no. Do you have a picture of it? Oh, no. Do you have a recording of it? All you need is your own higher self. Your own inner knowing is all you need. Trust and believe. I've let some go based on just that. Gut feeling. Something's not right. Well, one time I even had my ancestors yelling at me, get him the fuck out. Tell him to get the fuck out. And I did. They said he had to go, so he had to go. And that was the most intelligent thing that I could have done. And that's why I keep listening. Once you start listening, you know what it feels like. You're not doubting yourself. You're just going to start automatically. Because you're only going to hear your own voice, because you're not listening to other people saying, oh, you should do this. Oh, you should do that. You having that conversation with your higher self, nobody else. And again, I say higher self, not with your lower self. This is what happens with this situation. Only going low, thinking it's okay as long as nobody has proof of it. Well, your intuition, your discernment is all you need, and don't let anyone else tell you different. Tell them to go sit on a picture. Tell them to go sit on their receipts. You have a higher knowing, and that's what you're going by. They're feeling all the feels. They want that honeymoon phase again. They want you to have love on the brain. They've had options. Now they're discontent. You're not afraid. And earlier it came out, they thought you would be in despair and feel hopeless. They're not able to think straight. They're not feeling anything, to be honest. In prior reads, they were doing a lot of things to numb themselves. Now, they are not going big. They're not being dramatic. They're not getting what they were expecting. That new chord. Maybe that was on their mind. This King of Swords in reverse. It's time to cleanse, detox, to rid negativity, to purify, and stop the dealings with dirty money, illegal things, spiritually and 3D. Give me another card on this cleansing. Again, not scared, not afraid. They're not in their emotions. They're not in any mental distress. For some reason, they feel like they're going to get a lucky break, a good fortune. What is this blues in reverse? They think that they can come in and play your friend and have hidden intentions. If they come in and get turned up with you, get you to drink or smoke and loosen up, they want you to let your guard down. They think they can get you to let your guard down. Because of the past, they're saying there's no receipt. So if you bring up anything, they're like, oh, you can't prove that. Why you want to bring that up? And then want to say that you're being the negative one. Because they haven't had their epiphany, the realization that you're not a dummy. What else haven't they had a light bulb moment about? That you're not knocked up? Oh, they were expecting to knock you up. But the universe said, no, you're not planting that seed. I guess that plan didn't work. And you have no receipts. But that doesn't take anything away from what you know of this karmic lesson. Give me a card on reverse and repo and reverse. Yeah. You're not accepting any love bombing bull crap. The beans are being spilt. Maybe the same ones they wanted to meet up over coffee. You know that they are untrustworthy. The cat is out of the bag. They're not able to do it big. Afraid or not afraid. They cannot wield that sword over here. They're not able to numb anymore, and they're still lusting. They can't control themselves. They're at their breaking point. This is an SOS, a warning. Warning. They're coming in because they're lusting after you. Maybe all those love spells and everything that went into reverse, all those things that, no, maybe you didn't have something in 3D to prove they were doing. Now they're feeling. and they're lusting after you, wanting to come in with evil intentions. But the love bombing won't work on you. Oh, that's what we were waiting for. Brick wall. A brick wall up against that fire. I'd say this is a fire wall. There's no chemistry. You have defense mechanisms. You're guarded. And you're making it hard to reach. You. Trying to use intense passion where things get hot and heavy. But not with this frenemy. They've reached a brick wall. A brick firewall. They can't get through. Well, that was the message that we needed to know. We are protected. This was a huge shape shifter that has reached the breaking point, the end of the road. They're still not seeing the light. They're not going to see the wall. They won't know what's coming is what I'm seeing here. They refuse to do the cleansing, but they want the rewards. They're not going to see what's coming. Peace.